The matchup between the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies on August 28th was framed as more than just another game on the regular season calendar. The narrative carried an undertone of momentum, rivalry, and redemption. For the Braves, they were entering the contest fresh off what the writer described as one of their biggest fish fries in recent memory, a playful yet telling reference to their domination of the Miami Marlins, often nicknamed the Fish. That sweep not only boosted Atlanta's confidence, but also positioned them as a team riding a wave of energy and belief. The tone of the preview highlights the Braves as a club that thrives on confidence. Beating up on a weaker team had reset their rhythm, and now they were ready for a bigger challenge. On the flip side, the Philadelphia Phillies were facing a completely different emotional landscape. Coming into the game after being swept by the New York Mets, the Phillies were not only battling their opponent, but also themselves. In baseball, momentum is as much mental as it is physical. Being swept by a divisional rival like the Mets can shake a team's confidence, especially if they harbor postseason aspirations. The Phillies, therefore, were entering the contest with a sense of urgency. They needed a bounce-back win, not just for the standings, but for morale. The phrasing in the story, "Will the Phillies get back on the right track?" frames this game as a potential turning point, either to regain balance or spiral deeper into frustration. The language also reflects clear bias from the perspective of the writer, who leans toward the Braves. Words like compound their misery and the lighthearted jab of calling the Marlins series a fish fry show that the narrative is told with a fan's voice rather than a neutral observer. This injects energy and a sense of community into the storytelling. Baseball game threads, like the one this excerpt comes from, often double as rallying points for fans, where analysis and support blend into one. The casual and hopeful line, "I think we're all rooting for the latter scenario, correct?" reinforces the shared identity among Braves fans, making the preview both an analysis and a cheerleading note. In a broader sense, this setup reflects a timeless theme in sports storytelling: momentum versus redemption. The Braves are positioned as the surging team with confidence, while the Phillies are the wounded contenders searching for recovery. The clash, therefore, is not just about 9 innings of baseball, but about which narrative arc will prevail: dominance extended or redemption earned. Ultimately, the August 28th matchup is framed less as an isolated game and more as a test of resilience for the Phillies and consistency for the Braves. The stakes are heightened not by standings alone, but by the emotional weight both teams carry into the contest. For Braves fans, this was a chance to prove their strength against a formidable opponent. For Phillies fans, it was a chance to erase the sting of the Mets sweep. That tension between confidence and desperation made the storyline compelling, a classic setup that baseball thrives on.